Hi everybody. In this video, I am going to walk you through how to find an appropriate job posting, something that you are going to be interested in, and that you can use to write your resume and your cover letter for the first big assignment, I should say, the Unit 1 resume and cover letter assignment. So you should watch this video kind of like as an overview, and then you should also check out the three videos that I made to walk you through how to use LinkedIn, Monster, and Indeed to find job postings. Okay, so I'll mention this again, and all of the links to those other three videos will also be on the week two at a glance document. So make sure to check that out. For right now, let's go through how to find a job posting. So I'll just briefly kind of overview, which I've kind of already done, but I'll give you an overview of what we'll talk about, what I'll talk about, and I will go over the just remind there's some speed racing going on outside. I'm sorry. Um, I will go over places to find a job posting. So just review what I just said in a few moments, and then give you some tips on what to look for in a job posting. So, the purpose, like I mentioned before, is just to guide you through how to find something that is going to be a good match for what you're looking for. I am going to go through those three sites that I mentioned before: LinkedIn, Indeed, and Monster. I have personally had success finding positions on all three of those job websites, those job board type websites. So that's why I am recommending those to you. And you will need to this week take some time, watch the videos, take some time, and find your own job posting that you will use to write your resume, your cover letter. So we'll talk about this a little bit more in another video for next week. But your resume, your cover letter will need to be pretty tailored, and I will look for that when I am grading your documents. So I'm looking for to make sure that it's a good match to the job posting. Okay, so just that's why it's important to find something that you're actually interested in. Don't just think of this as an assignment to do in a class and it's boring. No, take advantage of having help from me, your peers, to write a resume that you can use after you graduate or even right away. So it's a big deal. Make sure you're keeping your interest in this. Okay, so like I mentioned before, these are the top places that I suggest that you use, that you visit to find a job posting. So obviously you can, if you already have a position and you want to stay at that company, you can look on your company's intranet site. So if you're working, for example, at UHD, you love UHD, you don't want to leave UHD, you just want to maybe get a promotion or move to another department or something like that, you can use the intranet at your job to find another position. So a lot of people do that. So that's one option. The other three are the top three, in my opinion. So Indeed is very popular. There are lots and lots of job postings there, and it has a very easy to use interface. There's not a lot of text and crazy stuff going on. It's very to the point. It's kind of like Google, it's just basically some search boxes. So you'll see that in the walkthrough that I recorded for you when you watch that one on Indeed. So that's a top one. The next one is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is awesome because it is like social media and job boards came together to create some type of amazing thing to give you lots of information. So with LinkedIn, you do have to create an account in order to see the job listings, the job postings, but that's okay. It's very robust and will serve you really well in the future, I think. I will also link a video that another teacher created to teach you how to set up your LinkedIn profile from beginning to end. Very informative, so make sure to check that out as well. Lastly, there's Monster. Monster has been around for a while, just like me, and it was one of the kind of first job board type websites. It's still really relevant. Monster is great because it also includes lots of helpful articles to give you information on how to write your resume, your cover letter, how to transition to other positions, how to do all kinds of stuff. And you'll see more of that when you watch. What is it? When you watch what? When you watch the walkthrough. There you go. So those are the top four that I recommend. You can also use Google. Google has a job search function. I did not make a video on that, but if you would like me to, just send me an email to let me know. But yeah, you can also just use Google to find positions as well. So that's awesome. Okay, so like I mentioned, after you finish watching this video, you can head back to the week 2 at a glance document to see the walkthroughs of those websites I just mentioned. You can see all of those. So make sure to check out all of those. So, lastly, I'm going to briefly tell you a little bit about what you should look for in a job posting. I'm drawing on some of my personal experience here, but of course, use this information how it best suits you. So, first are the skills. So, most job postings will list the required skills or the experience, things like that, that they're looking for in an applicant. And you'll want to make sure that you review that section to make sure that you have at least 60% of the skills listed on the job posting. Don't have to have 100%. Most employers do not expect you to be a 100% match. It's amazing if you are, but if you are not, please don't let that deter you from applying. In my personal experience, when I transitioned from being a school teacher to an instructional designer, I actually had seriously maybe 50 or 60% of the skills that were required on the job posting, but I had the core ones. And when I interviewed, I came across as personable and they liked me. So keep that in mind. A lot of looking for a position and getting a new job is about not just the resume and the cover letter, but also presenting yourself well when you go in for an interview or when you talk to them on the phone or when you communicate with the person through writing. So it's kind of like, think of it like as a big picture. So, excuse me. If you have at least 60% or so of the skills that's listed on the job posting, have confidence and apply for it. See what happens. You know, the worst that they can say is no or not reply back to your application. But that's okay. You tried, you know. Um, yeah. Okay. Oh, and like I was mentioning before, some employers also will train you if you have, for example, the right soft skills. They'll train you on how to use their procedures or their processes or their software or whatever. So if a position has, you know, like some kind of crazy software listed on it that you don't know yet, just apply And you can mention that you're a fast learner or something like that on your cover letter to let them know that you are interested and can learn hard skills like software and things like that. Next is your salary. So sometimes, if you're lucky, the job posting will tell you exactly how much the salary is. Sometimes you may have to do a little bit of digging to get an idea, a broad idea of what the position will pay. Or you can use glassdoor.com. I use it a lot when I have applied for positions, and you can maybe find out how much a position pays if it's not listed on the job posting itself. So that's just like a secret tip for you that I've learned from my own experience. Um, but make sure, especially if the salary is not listed on the job posting, make sure to do a little bit of research and figure out if, if it's going to be a good match for you as best as you can. Just do some research. The other big thing to look for on a job posting is the hours, the expectation that they are their expectations of when you will work. So this is very important depending on if you have children or if you are perhaps working more than one job. You have a full-time job and you're looking for a part-time job. Check out those hours to make sure that they are aligned with what you need or want. The other thing that I'll say about hours is some professions may, especially if they're salaried, they may have an expectation that you work longer hours, or based on the industry, they may think like, oh, we always expect our employees to work 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day, things like that. Another thing to keep in mind is some companies offer a schedule called a 980, which means you work 9 hours a day, but you have every other Friday off, which is nice. I know Chevron does that, and maybe some other companies. I only know for sure that Chevron does that. So just keep that in mind as far as your other commitments and when you are deciding to choose to apply to a job or not. The last thing, I think this is the last slide. Yes. So the last thing is benefits. If you are very lucky, you can get a salaried position with benefits. I have personally worked for years without company sponsored benefits. But you can find jobs that have company sponsored benefits like healthcare, dental care, 401k matching, other fun stuff, free Uber rides, free lunches, all this other kind of fun stuff. Keep in mind that a lot of part-time contractor or gig positions, they may offer a little bit more in pay, but on the other hand, there may not be benefits like the ones that I just mentioned. So keep that in mind. Another type of benefit that some companies are offering, especially since we are, looking at new ways, experimenting with new ways to work thanks to the pandemic, is work flexibility. So flexible hours, flexible work locations, flexible days and schedules, things like that. So if that's something that's important to you, for me it is. If it's important to you, then you can also look for that on the job posting. So, awesome. Short video just to walk you through an overview of what to do this week and what to look for when you're looking for your job posting. So like I mentioned before, go over to the week 2 at a glance document, take a look at those videos that I posted for LinkedIn, Monster, and Indeed. And also make sure you scroll all the way to the end of the document to see the requirements that you should look for in your job posting. So that's what you'll do this week. Find your job posting, go out, have fun, look, fantasize about the perfect job for you, look in other places if you want to move or whatever floats your boat. But make sure you find your well aligned job posting this week, and I will see you in the next video. As usual, if you have questions, make sure to email me at dylesen, dylesen at uhd.edu. Thanks for watching. Bye.